Hello, my name is Dr. Antonio Wolff. I am Interim Director of Breast and Gynecologic Malignancies at Johns Hopkins. The number of women being diagnosed with breast cancer every year continues to rise. Currently, about 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer over their lifetime. And while progress has been made towards developing new treatments, about 40,000 women still die every year in the US. And we realize that ultimately to cure breast cancer, what we really must do is prevent it from happening. The Fetting Fund for Breast Cancer Prevention at Johns Hopkins was founded to help find these women who are most at risk and to develop and cultivate prevention strategies to beat this disease before a cancer is diagnosed. Today we're speaking with Dr. Dipali Sharma, who is a professor of oncology here in the Johns Hopkins Chemo Cancer Center. Dr. Sharma, thank you for making time to speak with us. Could you tell us a little bit about your training, your background, and what made you start thinking about breast cancer prevention?
So I'm Dipali Sharma and I'm a professor of oncology here, and I've been focusing on various aspects of breast cancer. And we've been looking at risk factors specifically because we have done a great job in terms of developing risk prediction models, but we do appreciate that a large number of women develop breast cancer, and actually they have very low risk or no risk, when we look at the risk prediction models, the existing ones. So we started thinking outside the box, and that's how we started focusing on obesity. And then obesity does impact breast cancer risk as well as progression. And the other thing that we started focusing was on the microbiota, essentially. And these are the new risk factors that we wanted to explore and see that how we can actually prevent breast cancer.
Thank you for telling us a little bit more about you. Now, could you help us and the viewers learn a little bit about the project that you're conducting with support from the Fetting Fund for Cancer Prevention?
Fetting Fund has been really great in supporting our research. So we have, with their help, we have focused on developing these bioactive molecules. And when I say bioactive molecules, these are molecules that we are getting from food components or say bark, like magnolia bark. And we have developed this small molecule and done all the preclinical analysis. And now we're kind of ready to go to the next step. And that has been possible with Fetting Fund support. And another thing that we have been doing with Fetting Fund support is looking at these bugs in the gut. So this is a very new field where we have found that there are some disease-causing bugs in the gut and in the oral cavity. And essentially, these bugs can then translocate themselves, essentially move from their gut or oral cavity to breast tissue. And there, when the breast epithelial cells, the cells in the breast, when they are exposed to these bugs, they can actually learn how to grow as a cancer. And if there is some benign cancer developed already, then this cancer cell can actually learn how to become malignant and learn ways to how invade the tissues and actually develop metastatic lesions in lungs and liver. So we are essentially trying to understand these bugs that are there in these oral cavity or gut, and how they are traveling to breast and how they are affecting breast cancer development. So, and then the whole idea would be to identify these disease-causing bugs. What is more important for breast cancer? Initiation and progression, so we can prevent it. And then at the same time, we are developing modalities to basically inhibit that, so prevent that from happening. So the whole big idea would be finding these pathogenic bacteria and also developing ways to inhibit those, so in order to prevent cancer.
This is so fascinating, Dr. Sharma. Could you help us better understand what exactly is the microbiome in its relationship to the risk of breast cancer?
So essentially, there are all these bugs that live in our body, in and on our body. Various organs have these bugs. And now many of these bugs are commensals. Essentially, they are beneficial bugs that live on us and with us. But then there are environmental exposures of various kinds which can actually change these bugs, and we can harbor and we can acquire some of the harmful bugs, the disease-causing bugs, that can also impact breast cancer. So in our research, we are trying to identify the bugs that are harmful, and we're also trying to develop ways to prevent them.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for telling us about your work. Could you help us and tell those who are seeing these videos and interested in supporting the Fetting Fund, why the Fetting Fund for Cancer Prevention has been so important for the type of work you do.
We are very grateful for all the donors, that have supported Fetting Fund, because with this fund, we have been able to follow all these innovative ideas for breast cancer prevention. And I have to say that not only we are able to follow our innovative ideas and develop these basic experiments that can actually help us get bigger funding, and the other very, very important aspect is that breast cancer prevention funding is very hard to get. Breast cancer prevention is a harder and bigger goal, and we don't get enough support from existing funding agencies or, say, pharmaceutical industry. So Fetting Fund for Prevention has really been very, very, supportive to fund our innovative ideas, and so that we can actually find new prevention strategies and actually develop them for further, say, clinical interventions and such.